Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and in this video what I want to do is show you how to get started with Neo4j using Docker. Okay, so recently I just kind of taken an interest in graph databases. So Docker's always just a great way to try out something new without necessarily having to like do all these crazy installations and have 50 different services running all the time. So let's just walk through it. So essentially, if you want to, first you need to have Docker installed. So figure out how to install Docker for your particular operating system. So that way you can do this. But once you have that installed, the rest of this is pretty straightforward. Okay, so I want to install Neo4j, which is a graph database. So you just go for here's the official image. Pretty straightforward. So first thing you're going to want to do is pull the image. So in your terminal, you'd run this command that pulls the images, downloads the image on your computer. And then literally all you'd have to do is run, anytime you look up one of these Docker images, you would just kind of look through this like documentation to see how that particular image is used. And you literally just run this command. Okay, the only thing you want to do is just make sure that you have this directory exists. Home Neo4j data, because that's where it's going to save the database data in this folder. Okay. And then what I did is I took this command and put it under an alias to make it really easy for me to start my container. So basically now, if I want to go start up my Neo4j server, I just type in start Neo, and it's going to go kickstart the container, which takes like a minute. So we'll let it do that. Flashy flash, and then we'll show you sort of Neo4j in basically the basic tools. Okay, so cool. Now we see that the server has started. Okay, and then we can see that this is going to be starting on localhost 74.74.7. So I'm going to, I'll just copy this. Copy. I can open it up in a new tab. And here I am. Now the first time you sign up for this, like when you first run this server, the username is Neo4j, password is Neo4j. It's going to ask you to change the password on your first login. And if you're new to Neo4j, it's probably the best thing to do is just kind of get used to this interface first. Like get comfortable just like interacting with the database before you start trying out like a language specific implementation, whether it's through Node or Go or Rust. I do have a little bit of data in here, so I have 3 persons. Okay, so and that's the cool thing about like graph databases. So you see here like the data, they're not tables, they're just these nodes. So here I have a node of me as a person, Alex Merced. So Alex Merced is one person, and Tony Merced, my brother, is another person. And then there's this edge. This edge is a relationship. So saying Alex Merced is the brother of, okay, and right now it's just a one-sided direction. Technically what I need to do is add another edge from Tony Merced to Alex Merced. So how would I do that? Okay, first I would want to first grab the 2 people. So I'm going to say match. Okay, and then it's parentheses. The first variable is going to be t. So I'm going to create a variable called t that's going to be a person. And I'm looking specifically for a person named Tony Merced. So since I'm using match, I'm not creating a new record. I am looking for a person, someone with a person label that has this property. Okay, and then whatever it finds is going to get stored in this variable called t. Then I'm going to find another match because I want to get myself. So I'm going to say I am also a person. Okay, and my name is Alex Merced. Okay, so now there's A, and then I'm going to create a relationship. So right now I have Alex Merced as brother of Tony, but I need Tony Merced to be the brother of Alex. So I'm going to create a new relationship, and we just say T. We create an arrow, and then we create the relationship, and we'll just say we'll call this rel. Doesn't matter what you call the variable name, but it's going to be a brother of. And you don't have to predefine these. Okay, you just do these as you go. And that's going to be a brother of A, because again, I stored Tony Merced as a variable T, and I stored Alex Merced as variable A, and this little arrow connects the two. So I'm saying T, Tony, is brother of A, Alex Merced, and then I need to return something. So then let's return rel, the relationship. Okay, and then I run the command. Okay, we got that, which is basically we see the relationship. Now I'm gonna close all these windows. I'm gonna go back to take a look at all the persons. And now I see, when I see Tony and Alex, see, now we see a two-way relationship. Tony is the brother of Alex Merced, and Alex is the brother of Tony. Okay, and that's kind of like, so I can keep making people. I can make my aunt, I can make my mother, and I can keep redefining these edges. Okay, and then I can like search. So I can say, hey, give me a match. Match, say P, a person, okay, who is the brother of person name Alex Merced. So find me a person any person that is a brother of Alex Merced, and then I want to return that P, because again, P is the variable that I stored that person in that we're looking for. Return P. Let's see if that works. There you go. See, it found Tony Merced. Now, even though in real life I have like 5 or 6 brothers, if I had entered them all in there and gave them all that brother of relationship, it would have found me all the persons who are brother of Alex Merced. So see, they're not organized in tables that have, you know, relationships. Every node can have any kind of relationship with any other kind of node. But I'm saying specifically I want person. So there was another, maybe there was another node who, maybe let's say like we had like a Martian. Okay, created another node that the label is Martian, but it is also a brother of me. It wouldn't have come up because I looked for the label person. So that's kind of cool. Like it's a cool way to organize data. So essentially what happens is that this is like a visual way to kind of see how the data all relates to each other. But the idea is that, imagine this like on Facebook, okay? Every time you have a user, so you have all your users, and then there's like videos, so it's like, you know, so it'd be like, there's a video here that's created by Tony Merced, a photo created by Tony Merced, okay, a video created by Alex Merced, Alice likes video, and that which the video is created by Alex Merced. So I could do something like, find me all videos Alice liked that were created by Alex Merced, and would get me those specific videos. So the querying power is pretty cool. Okay, so hopefully this gives you an idea. And again, you would then use the drivers for the particular language you want. So we're using Go, Rust, Node. You would just then connect to the database and send queries over to create data, to match data, to update data, to do all the things you would normally do in a database. But again, the data is, you just have to think of the data a little bit differently. Again, they're not tables, they're not collections, they're nodes, and each node can connect to other nodes in any way that you want. And you can create all sorts of really sort of complex relationships that are actually easier and more efficient to query and do complex queries for. So that, now, I don't know if all graph databases work that way. I'm not sure if Neo4j works this particular way. But I know some graph databases, what they do is they essentially underneath the hood, it's a document database, because document databases store information more compact. But basically the graph layer allows the documents to be written in a way that allows the graph layer to kind of keep track of like the node relationships. So essentially you just have this one massive collection of nodes, and then each document kind of has all these references, all these edges embedded in them and whatnot. But the idea is like just the way that the data relates to each other is really cool. Okay, every node can have as many relationships, you know, and just because a relationship works, so basically just because Tony Merced and Alex Merced is brother of each other, I don't have to keep track of whether there's a brother of relationship for Alice. So Alice may not have any brothers. Alice comes when you open first created when you first initialize this, Alice is already there. So that case, unlike like a SQL database where you have like let's say a foreign key for brother, if someone doesn't have a brother, you're not going to have a blank field. You just don't have an edge. And again, these lines are edges. These are nodes. These can also be referred to as vertices. Okay, a vertex is just one node, one collection of data. The edges are how these vertices, these collections of data, relate to each other. So my name is Alex Merced. This has been an introduction to the Neo4j database and how you can start working with it in your local dev environment, so you can get familiar with it and have a great day and enjoy. And again, just another shout out to Docker for being awesome, making it easy to set up your dev environment with all sorts of cool different databases and tools without having to do too much configuration. Have a great day.